Be a man.
Experience!
More is always better. That's why MyBookie instantly doubles all first-time deposits. With double the funds, you can double your action and, more importantly, double your wins. Getting in on the action has never been easier. I can bet with all my currencies, including crypto, and with all that extra scratch, why not get in on the biggest matchup of the week at MyBookie? As we inch closer to the NFL playoffs, there are some pivotal games to be on the lookout for. Behind MVP candidate Matt Stafford, the Rams are looking to continue rolling. Don't wait. Head to MyBookie today and redeem your double deposit bonus so you can get into the game and start winning now. Use my promo code BEAMAN to receive double your first deposit instantly. That's promo code BEAMAN so you can double your funds to double your winnings. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Be a man.
Experience!
Are you with me? Be a man.
Yeah.
You ready to preach? Preacher,
Yep.
what's the best way to listen to the music?
Vinyl only.
Never go to a concert without.
Weed.
All right.
It's not a world of men.
I want you to be a man.
You could just be a man in this one moment.
I gotta be a man.
Be a man!
It's be a man time.
Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man.
Am I supposed to be a man?
Be a man.
Be a man.
Be a man. Be a man.
You can act like a man.
Be a man.
I was going to shit on the side of the road today or in some parking lot. I felt that fucking panic. It hit me on Route 3 coming down. So I looked in the car. It was wax paper. I'll wipe myself ass with anything, but not wax paper.
It's not going to do anything.
You can't do it. I succumbed to going into a Barnes & Noble restaurant.
Oh.
I practically bowled over an old man who was doing that old man walk. He was going into the men's room. I go, if he goes to that fucking stall,
you gotta get there
I'm
first.
literally going to fucking grab him by the nape of the neck
Which Barnes & Noble?
in Burlington.
Oh, yeah, it's a good place.
That's a good
Good
crossover.
place to take a shit.
Yeah, well, my
And
father.
then I stole a magazine.
Did you really?
Yeah, I haven't stolen a magazine in a long time, but I used to always go there to steal them and more. But I quit stealing for the most part. I mean, who the fuck buys magazines?
No shit.
They're thin. They're not what they used to be.
No, I know it.
There was a guy on the cover. It was about music. And,
Yeah, remember like music magazines?
Huge.
That was a huge fucking thing. You would sit there and you would read about something that you could listen to.
Yeah. Billboard charts, right?
Oh,
Used to come on every week. Billboard charts. They used to have
Mojo
magazines.
magazine,
Yeah.
tremendous. So there was an artist on the cover of the magazine that I absconded with. Nick Cave was on there.
Ah,
And
love
I'm a
Nick
fucking
Cave.
Nick Cave fan.
Oh, he's great.
And I picked it up and I fucking moseyed on out the door.
What was your favorite band growing up?
Well, we had phases, of course. I liked the Beatles, like the Rolling Stones. Obviously, loved the Who, Led Zeppelin, Eagles, Allman Brothers. We went through phases. You know what I mean? You couldn't stop listening to the album. Then you get the next one, and you like that. You know? How about you?
Me and my buddies went through a long phase with Southern rock. So it was like the Outlaws, Marshall Tucker, Charlie Daniels,
Love it.
Allman Brothers. All those guys.
Of course, Tonzo, the younger guy, just because of where I grew up in like my surroundings, I was a rap guy. I was a rap guy coming up, and I'm sure that as like old school rock guys, what do you guys think of that? I mean,
Rap is crap. No, some of it's okay. Yeah.
well,
some of it's all right.
obviously the rap that I was listening to coming up is totally different than
Well,
the
it was like-
bullshit that's coming
Yeah, I
out
was
now.
gonna say that was like real shit back then.
Like NWA and even Curtis Blow and the Fat Boys. I fucking love the Fat Boys.
Yeah, the Fat Boys are good. When that first came out, I remember when I was in college, guys would be carrying the boomboxes around their shoulders. The boomboxes were like 4 feet long. Right?
Yeah.
And it was like, it makes a lot of sense because it's very similar to like the rock and roll come up when you guys were coming up, that it was such like a new and exciting thing that everybody was fucking all into it. You know?
See, I missed a cutoff age-wise when rap came along.
Yeah.
There was some of it I could like, sort of, here and there, but overall, that wasn't in my fucking wheelhouse.
Yeah.
To this day, I mean, Yeah, a little bit here and there. I can like it, but I'm not a big fan of rap.
Did you like Vanilla Ice?
Unfortunately, I did.
It was hard not to like that song when it came out. Exactly. It was catchy. It was likable.
Oh well, I mean,
right?
it's a sample from Under Pressure, which is one of the greatest songs ever written. It's fucking
that's very smart because that's
David Bowie, right?
Seeps into your consciousness. Every people were familiar with that riff. That you know what I mean? I used to make greatest hit tapes on the cassettes, the little cassettes. Take me hours.
Yep.
I used to make it just to bring to the beach on Sunday and work on it all week to debut it. And I'd go to the beach and I'd blast it so everybody around me could hear it. And I'd look around like I wrote the music. Yeah. I wanted credit from people going, huh? Is this a fucking mix or what?
And that was like that's something this generation will never know.
No, it's all earpods.
It's all solo.
Yeah, it's all making playlists on Spotify and stuff like that. But I used to do the same thing. I was totally into making the mixtapes.
Right.
Yeah, I still got a bunch, and they still work. They're on cassette. I mean,
beautiful.
Yeah.
I had people stop by the blanket to compliment me.
Yeah.
They go, wow, what the fuck? And I go, I made this over the fucking week.
How about having the Sony Walkman?
Yeah.
With the cassette tape in there. That was like big technology.
One of my favorite images is that scene in White Men Can't Jump at the end with Rosie Perez on the rollerblades, and she has that yellow Sony Sports Walkman, and she's fucking, oh my God, she was so smoking hot. That's just like such an iconic thing.
Oh, I love her.
You know what's a great line? Speaking of mobile little music devices of the era, when Phil Leotardo says in The Sopranos, I'll stick that Discman up your box.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the Sony Discman.
You don't hear that every day.
Yeah, the Discman. That was after the Walkman because you could put a disc in there.
Right.
Well, there was, of course, there was the mixtapes that you make for parties and stuff like that, so you had a good mix. But then there was also something that I used to do that I was notorious for, was making the mixtapes for the broads.
Oh, yeah. I did that. Say you're going to shack up, right?
Yeah.
You want to set the mood. You fucking you press the button, up. Play. All of a sudden, these fucking songs come on. Yeah, I did that. It works.
Oh, yeah, I used to do the whole thing, and that was like, I mean, anybody that remembers using tape players back in the day, you had the dual cassette deck, and you would do what is referred to as the pause play.
Right.
So you would record the track, and then you would hit pause on it, and you would switch the tape on the other deck, and then you would keep the mix moving and stuff. Doing that, I would have a microphone. Oh, Jenny, I think you're really going to love this song. I think Snow Informer is fantastic, just like you. My own cock radio show.
Hey,
fucking Casey Kasem of cocks.
Yeah, I used to label them music to hang yourself by. That was for broad music to moisten up. Different titles I came up with. I was very clever with them.
One of my favorites was called Love Me, Don't Leave Me with Boner.
Right.
That would be like the moisten music, and it would be like, we can't walk away from this beautiful music.
There was nothing better than when after you finish the deed with the woman, you're laying on the bed, her head's on your chest. She looks up and she says, no one makes a fucking mixtape like you. That's the ultimate compliment, right?
I never got it.
Yeah.
I always wanted it.
Nothing about the porking. It's all about the fucking mix.
What did you think of the transition between track 7 and track 8?
That's exactly right. Right? Go, stop. Listen right here. You see the way I did that, huh?
It sounds like a real DJ.
No gap.
Yeah, no gap at all.
None whatsoever.
If you had a gap, you were a fucking schmuck.
I'd go back and toil in the fucking studio for another month.
Back in the old days with tape recorders, if I didn't have that technology, I wouldn't have became like a type of person that wanted to be an entertainer. You know what I mean? Like, I made stupid tapes with my cousin we called The Silly Show, and we'd be doing voices and stuff like that. I remember we'd record those tapes, and I'd listen to them for fucking 5 months at a time and be like, all right, how do I, let's make another one, let's make it better, and let's improve. And being able to hear yourself and hear all your flaws and stuff like that.
I love when you do the Christmas parties at the Italian Club.
Oh,
you
yes.
DJ down there.
Yeah,
all these funky Christmas songs that come out.
Nice.
I try not to play, I'm not going to sit there and smack you in the side of the head with a bag of oranges like Bing Crosby.
Yeah, that's all.
I'm going to play like a bunch of weirdo songs.
Yeah, you're not going to go fucking Blue Christmas Elvis, Happy Christmas John Lennon.
Mariah Carey.
Yeah, see,
have something from Nirvana's Greatest Christmas.
that's not
something
bad.
like that.
I've turned on Christmas music. I don't like it one bit. I only like one Christmas album. Johnny Mathis. I swear to God. He's not the great, Frank's the king, these guys, Dean, whatever you want to call it, number one singer of all time.
I love Johnny Mathis.
Yeah,
Johnny
he's good.
Mathis, and his other stuff is good too, but his Christmas album is the best.
Yeah. Velvet Voice.
I don't give a shit.
Holiday music and how bad most of it is, and then how forced it is.
Well, let's call it what it is. It's not holiday music. It's Christmas music.
It is Christmas.
Right.
Thank you, Be a Man. I feel like a fucking cuck piece of shit for saying holiday music.
See? You young bucks, you don't know?
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
I'm so close to the cusp where it's like I start taking the thing in.
I'm not a fan of any kind of holiday music or any theme music like that. I used to be, but that's a thing that's gone by the wayside for me. I don't like it.
And it's definitely a meme nowadays. Like the fucking Mariah Carey Christmas song.
Yeah,
it just will not die.
I didn't mind it the first 500,000 times I heard it, but now it kind of gets to me.
It has to have been it has to be the most played song of all times.
Yeah,
I feel like I've probably heard that song at least 100,000 times, and it came out in like fucking 95.
A couple of stations, local stations, probably be switching over to Christmas music now soon, right?
That's all they play all day long.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't even listen to the radio anymore. I drive around in miserable silence in my car like this.
The big difference is years and years ago, songs that were played on the radio were songs that were just good songs. They were songs that everybody had access to, and it was almost like everybody knows that this is a good song. This is the good song. There was a different rites of passage. Now music is so different where any asshole can spend $300 on gear and they can do a SoundCloud page and they can put their music out to the world. And the music game is so oversaturated.
They muddy the waters badly. Keith Richards in his book says when they try to make their first album, to get that money together, to go to a studio, to have the guy record it, to break their fucking balls and pray for a miracle to get it out there, when any boob, like you were saying, go in his fucking basement and be global.
Yeah.
But it's fucking muddying the waters.
It is.
You know what I mean?
It's made it horrible. And like I said, you can go and you can spend $1,000 at Guitar Center and have a recording setup that's essentially better than shit that the Beatles recorded on.
Although me and Be a Man are going to do a fucking duet soon.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Christmas song?
I'll scare people when I sing. John's got a great voice.
He does have a good voice.
We'll do that talk sing type shit. You know what I mean? Like a little Bob Dylan. I'm talking sing. Leonard Cohen, perfect. Nick Cave. We don't have to really go for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, music's come a long way from a boombox to fucking the little things you put in your ear, the AirPods. Right?
But it's so niche, like you said. Yeah, see, well, I was a BCN guy, rock and roll radio back in the day, my era. Those DJs to us were like college professors. Yeah. They taught you and exposed you. Say, well, if Charles Laquadera or whoever DJ likes this, it must be good. And they fed you. Yeah, listen, and it worked. That's how you learned about it. That's all there was.
Right.
There was no internet. There was nothing.
I feel like that's how you learned about everything. They were telling you the bars to go to.
Right.
They were telling you the concerts that were coming in. They were telling you like everything in life that you needed to know. That was the vital information. And it seems like now, like as soon as the music stops, people would turn down the volume and stuff. I would listen to every aspect of every radio show because the information was so valuable,
Yeah.
We used to have a little manual tape recorder, and I have the radio on. And if a song I came on, I'd fucking run next to it in the tape recorder, record it off the transistor radio. I made tapes that way.
I would make mixtapes off of the radio all the time.
Yeah.
See, with the music, right, nowadays, your finger is on the trigger to get rid of it if you don't like it. So say you listen 10, 20, 30 seconds, we're all guilty of it. Even the songs I love that song, then you change it 10 seconds later. You go, I thought you just said you loved it. Because you're right there, boom. We had to, old school, go put the needle on the record.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Then walk back 10 feet, sit on the couch, stare stupidly at the wall, look at the album cover, read the album cover, maybe roll some bones on it. The seeds used to roll down the album cover. So you knew both sides of that album. You knew obscure track. You know, track 3, third side. I mean, who the fuck knows that?
right.
You knew the whole thing because you listened to the whole thing.
And you would be a lot more tolerant of a shitty album when you paid $15 for it. You'd buy something that had 15 tracks. You didn't hear a single song, and you would just develop like the opinion and the passion that people have for all these oddball albums and stuff. That shit's gone nowadays because, like you said, everybody has their finger on the fucking pulse. Oh, the first 5 seconds, I don't like this song.
Boom.
You know, but maybe 15 seconds in, it changes into something else, and you love the fucking song, but you're not going to listen to it because nobody has any fucking patience because of digital technology.
That's what fast forward is for. I
Yeah.
do. But, I'm a big Shazam guy. You use Shazam?
Yeah.
I think Shazam's like the best thing in the history of the world.
You know what I use Shazam for a lot is for like watching TV shows, and I'll hear a song in the background, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's a great song. What the fuck is that?" And
If
I'll
I'm at
do
the
it
gym,
right out
I use
off
a
of
lot.
the show.
It's a gym.
That's where you hear the great music now on TV and movies, TV shows.
Yeah.
And they're for the most part obscure bands. Go, this fucking song is great.
Yeah.
That's the rites of passage, you know, like it's on a TV show or it's on a web series or something like that, where before it would have to be something that was played on the radio. Do you guys remember there was Magic FM, and of course there was
106.7, very romantic station.
106.7 Magic
I didn't do that.
FM.
Never.
Very
ever.
romantic.
Knew it.
Tonight we're going to play a sultry song
Yeah,
from
set the-
Aerosmith dedicated to somebody's sweetheart. You know, and there was and
Sets
you
the
would
mood.
call in and you would make a request, and then you would have some sort of heartfelt message. I know so many people that got asked because of Magic.
There was no phone music, no computer music.
No.
You had to hear it on the radio or buy the album,
buy the
and that's the way it was. So we all kind of like shared in it. Now, like you listen to this on your headphones, you listen to that on your
Oh, it's
headphones.
crazy.
I can't blow anybody away at the beach with my mixtape anymore.
Yeah.
Support for the Be a Man experience is brought to you by Manscaped, who are the men's below-the-waist grooming champions of the world.
Manscaped just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, the 4.0. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels.
Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code
Be a man at manscaped.com. Be a man.
My old man used to buy soundtrack albums, you know, like say like Spartacus, for example. I remember as a kid, a vivid memory. I went to the Music Hall movie theater in Boston, which has now been a million Wang Center or whatever.
Yeah.
And we saw Spartacus, and in the lobby, they had like a display. They was selling the album, and it was a glossy red, beautiful album with book pages, several pages, and then the record itself. It was like a substantial purchase. It was great.
Wow.
And it was soundtrack music. Well, who buys that anymore?
It's not
Original
only
music.
Not only soundtrack music, but just media. Nobody purchases media. Everybody just gets it streamed to their device, and they call it a fucking day. But like, there's so many people I know, and they live their life like they own a fucking used music store. Like they just have walls of CDs, of albums, of VHSs, of DVDs and laser discs, and all this physical media that like people have totally ignored now. You know?
Yeah.
Sad. Because you don't really get to know, and you got to hold it in your hand. That's why if you go to like Barnes & Noble, for example, a place I'm known to frequent for many reasons, they sell vinyl record albums. A lot of them.
New ones of new
If you go there like intermittently, you'll notice that there's more vinyl.
Yeah, because that's making a comeback.
It's making a bit of a
like
comeback.
a chic thing to do for some of the young kids.
Like you're cool, you have an album. You have fucking Jethro Tull.
No, but that's the thing is that it's not Jethro Tull. It's like Green Day, American Idiot on vinyl. Like, blow that out, you fucking twat. Like, I remember back, of course, like Pink Floyd, like it's albums that you would take a fucking journey with. You would listen to this
head
shit.
music.
Yeah. You'd get stoned. You'd sit in a room full of a bunch of other dudes,
you see the
and
movie?
nobody would say a fucking word.
Tremendous.
Nobody would talk. You would just sit in a room and listen to fucking music. Could you imagine doing that now?
So Roger Waters, fucking front row. That was my last big concert. Front row. I bought them on eBay that very, very, very day. 4 tickets when I was 10 years, whatever it was, 10 years ago. Tremendous.
concert I was at.
Only way to go.
Last concert I was at was at the Wilbur. We did it.
That was a huge hit. It's still reverberating around the country.
We used to have all the little hoodsies. Like we used to go to a lot of concerts down at Cape Cod Coliseum.
Yeah.
Always because I was tall. Me and a couple of my buddies used to get the bras and let them sit on our fucking shoulders the whole time.
That's the ones you see in those old tapes that take their tits out.
Oh yeah.
One sit on the shoulders.
Back in the good days, back when weed was grass.
Oh,
You're
right.
not going to see that anymore. That had to have ended in like Woodstock '99, right? That had to.
Oh, God.
That had to be where the cutoff was.
Big disaster.
Fucking craziness.
The dream is over. Everybody sucks. Go home. Right?
You guys remember the first concert that you went to?
Yeah. I was 12 years old. I went to see Aerosmith at the Garden. 45 years later at the Garden, they sounded the same.
Boston Garden was fucking awesome.
Oh,
we used to
was.
smuggle so much contraband in there. The place reeked of weed. You know those hippie rawhide wine pouches?
Oh yeah.
With the fucking rope. We'd have
Fucking
those.
Camelback.
All kind of fucking gear, bones, pills.
Yeah.
Flask. I remember seeing the Allman Brothers and Leonard Skinner talk about a fucking
yes.
twin bill, Kings of Southern
Yeah,
Rock. The Van Zandt stumbling around the stage, drunk, spitting maniacally into the crowd, spitting, fucking drunk as a bastard. You know what I mean?
ZZ Top is another band
Great.
I didn't mention. Southern Rock.
no.
I've seen Skinner after. You
Right.
know, I saw them about 7 or 8 years ago up at
With the
Great
brother?
Woods. Yeah.
The brother in his
He
place?
was from 38 Special, right?
Yeah,
He's the lead singer from 38
Right,
Special.
exactly. Pretty close.
Yeah. You can't tell.
Matter of fact, fuck it. Same
ZZ
thing.
Top was horrible. When
Yeah, they were.
Top,
I mean,
yeah.
I saw them when I was younger. They were great. Then I saw them like 7 or 8 years ago over there in Great Woods, and it sucked. They sucked.
I would say one of my pivotal concerts, the Rolling Stones in their formative heyday, if you will, right? Saw them a bunch of times, and the Get Your Ya-Ya's tour out was fucking tremendous, because that's when he wore like the top hat with the red, white, and blue sort of American thing on. That stands out because not just for the performance and the whole thing, but the guys you were with, the whole session.
Yeah, of course.
I
The
lied.
whole group, the whole fucking thing, right? I remember one of my friend's older brothers went, and he was like a company man. So we were hippies. We bought shit in Harvard Square. They sold hippie clothes in Harvard Square. We bought them. We looked down the row like this here, and there's my friend's brother with a white turtleneck and a fucking plaid sport jacket and a fucking square haircut going. I still can picture that. That's why it
Very
stands
debonair.
out.
I lied about my first concert, by the way. It was when I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. The Rolling Stones were at the City Yard. They did an impromptu. You know what the City Yard is
cool.
in East Boston?
Yeah.
They did an impromptu concert down there. My uncle took me, because I only lived a couple of blocks from there, put me on his shoulders, and I sat there and watched them. I mean, I barely remember it, but that was my first one.
Can you imagine they're still going too?
Yeah,
No shit.
I saw them
Incredible.
like 15 years ago. They were unbelievable.
It's weird. They're
I
still
mean,
good.
15 years ago they were old, right?
Yeah.
They're like 65. Now they're like 80.
I saw Jagger take a picture of him online. They're in Atlanta. They're going to play in Atlanta. He's out touring museums and sightseeing. And I say, God, I'm so. Look at I mean, all that
Yeah,
life.
is
in
he
him,
80?
Close to 80.
Yeah.
I go, I'm so miserable. I haven't been to a
He's
fucking
in great shape.
museum.
He's jumping around on stage. And
Unbelievable.
I remember the Beatles flew in. Remember they flew in, played Suffolk Downs?
Yes.
I remember it was just, the whole day square was gridlock. It was like excitement through the city. It was like crazy just looking out. I was in a triple decker. I was a little guy, but looking out the window, just like, there was traffic everywhere, excitement. It was crazy time, crazy day.
It's too bad the Beatles didn't get to perform under semi-normal circumstances, because the mania was so tremendous.
Yeah.
They put the kibosh on their live career. It had to. If you hear those screaming lunatics,
Right.
sound quality, all was horrible. But when they did the legendary rooftop concert, which is impeccable, shows how great they are with minimal sort of production. A+ fucking performance songs, a whole bit. Too bad we couldn't have got more of that.
No, I know it.
You know what I mean? Before they stopped touring. You know what I mean?
9 times out of 10, when you see somebody live, they're not as good as the song, as just listening to the song on an album. But when you have that person that's in that other percentile that just brings the showmanship and just brings the energy, I think listening to live albums is like one of the hardest things ever to do. You know, and people will say, oh, you have to listen to the Beatles at BBC, so there's something to be said, though, for actually being there and witnessing it.
Yeah.
That it doesn't matter how good the actual performance was, being there and being a part of it is what makes it so
the
special.
Stones and Aerosmith unbelievable in concert. Like they sound on the album.
Leon Russell, who had some great moments in his career as a side man, a session man, a writer, as a performer too, right? But his body of, I mean, I liked him, but not love him. I like his persona and his look more than, say, his total body of work, although I think he had some great, great moments. Yeah. But we used to tease each other. He had a 3-disc live album. Could you keep this up? I'm going to make you fucking listen to Leon live. All of it. Every fucking painful minute. You ain't moving.
You get Billy Joel doing the same fucking show at Fenway every fucking year, doing the same fucking set lists, seeing the same bands at the same places.
That. I saw Alvin Lee from 10 Years After live. Fucking Boston Guard, shredding fucking guitar solos. Shit's over, man. It was unbelievable. Man.
I was at the Eagles concert getting a big blowout where a broad took off on her.
You left her there?
No, during the concert. One of my brothers was there, so I ended up finding out where he was.
I don't like going to concerts with women. You know what I mean?
It's terrible.
Not as a date setup. I think I went once or twice. It's not fun.
No, it's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not. And 9 times out of 10, if you're going to a concert with a broad, it's not somebody that you like.
I won't go. I'm one way.
Because if I'm going to go and see somebody I like, I'm going to go and see it with my fucking boys. You know, like that's what it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've had some terrible fucking concert experiences with broads. But every time you go with the boys, it's a fucking, open table. It's an adventure.
You're pre-gaming heavy. You know what I mean? You're really in the zone. You're making a big event out of it. With the broad, it's not like that.
No.
What are you going to say? Let's meet 2 hours early and get fucking wasted?
Unless you go with a bunch. Sometimes, I've been in situations with a bunch of guys, a bunch of girls.
Yeah, the broads sit with the broads.
Yeah.
Let's go to Chili's and get $1 Long Island iced teas before we go to the show. Fuck that.
No.
When I saw Iron Maiden, we rented 2 limo buses. We had fucking shrimp cocktail. We fucking did it up like absolute all-stars. Like it was a fucking A-list event. And fucking, that's how you got to do it. You can't do it like a bunch of assholes.
Were you ever in a band?
No.
I was in a band for a little bit.
Oh, what was the name?
It was Cerebus, which was like a devil, angel, hell name. Thing or whatever. And I remember I couldn't handle
like some deep, prog rock.
Well, it was like prog rocky, but we really did covers.
Okay.
But I didn't last long. It was one of them weird bands with dual lead singers. That's a bad look. You know what I mean? With one guy not playing nothing, the other guy not playing. Anyway, I had a few numbers to sing, and I did 1 or 2 shows, but I had to really get fortified with booze because I was afraid.
Yeah, loosen you up.
And I'll never forget the third and final time I never made it to the stage. It was my own little fucking Jim Morrison moment. I remember them trying to revive me. And they go, he's drunk. He fell down the steps. He's not coming out. That was the end of my singing and rock career, sadly.
What do you think is our worst artist ever?
Barry Manilow.
He wrote the songs.
How about something like Steve Miller Band? I'm a Joker.
Yeah.
It's got a little quirkiness to it, but then you really sit back, you hear it nowadays, you go, what a sucky song this is.
Abracadabra.
One he had some real shit songs.
A couple of good ones, but most of them.
A couple of good, yeah, exactly. You like this.
Toss-up.
And I used to say, I go, if I fucking knew this is all you had to do, maybe I would have tried to be a fucking musician a little better than I did.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I could write that.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at fucking Jimmy Buffett with his fucking Margarita Island drunken ass.
Yeah, I don't do Jimmy Buffett.
He's fucking horrible. He's one of the worst songwriters ever. And fucking he's revered as a fucking genius. I don't understand
because everyone's fucking drinking.
It's the lifestyle. They want to wear.
How about Jimi fucking Hendrix talking about Jimmy?
A+, right? Too bad.
Right? I know it.
Fucking legendary.
Purple Haze.
Oh, fucking guitar god. Still, the king.
And it's like those were guys that with the front men, they brought some pizzazz. They were good singers. They also played guitar. They wrote the song.
That style.
Pop nowadays, these songs are written by 40, 50 people. Like it's not one guy in his fucking basement that came up with the song and had this whole vision. It's it's like a team. It's like the scientific approach to music. It's like we'll bring in all these fucking all-stars and these heavy hitters and we'll create the song instead of it just happening.
We've decided really on the break we're going to do a country album.
Yes.
Live instrumentation.
I'm going to talk the words though because I'll scare people if I sing.
And I'm going to play the fucking banjo. Okay.
This is shaping up. Actually, this sounds great. If Be a Man kind of did almost like the Johnny Cash style.
Yeah.
You know Big Bad John?
Yeah.
Big Bad John. So I've already been working on it. He went 6 foot 8, 245, and nobody give no lip to be a man. Be a man. Be a man. Be a man.
There you go.
Right? That's how we're going to do it. We'll just bastardize the fucking words that some other guy wrote, and we'll take them for ourselves.
How would you compare the music that you guys listen to in comparison to the music that kids are growing up with now?
Well, I mean, I was in my alma mater a couple of weeks ago, and a lot of the songs the kids were listening to were songs that we listened to up there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like,
Really?
They listened to
That gives
old
me
rock
hope
and
for
roll.
the future.
Because I was at a couple of parties. They had the music blasting outside. You know, we used to have big speakers back in the day.
Yeah.
They got these little things that's like this big, like a fucking domino.
No wires. I know.
Yeah, it's fucking blasting
Connected
out.
to your phone.
But they, they were listening to a lot of the classic
Yeah,
rock up there, which was pretty good.
Yeah, my 31-year-old son who's a musician, he loves classic rock. That's what he heard me play it. That's what he likes. And he's exposed to all of it, but he knows that music was better then. My 11-year-old son, he goes, rock and roll. That's terrible. I go, what? A lot of people feel that way. A lot of people say rock is dead.
Yeah, it's
hardcore rock.
not at Westfield State.
Rock and roll is not dead. Good rap is not dead. Good music is not dead. But again, the delivery system that we get it is totally different. We used to just be able to turn on Casey Kasem and he had the best songs ever. And now it's a different time. If you want to fucking find that music, it's out there, but you got to look for it because there's no really rites of passage.
Nobody's feeding you the fucking exposure.
You're not getting the drip.
You're not getting it.
I hope you enjoyed the
Be a Man.
Experience.